Flosstube, welcome back. It is Flosstube number 39 today, and this week I haven't done as much as I probably should or would have, but there's a new baby. That takes over everything, and at the moment my son and his girlfriend are ringing me like 3 or 4 times a day on video call, and he calls me Nanny, and it's weird. So as you can gather, if you hadn't seen my whip and chat from Wednesday, he arrived on Halloween. It was actually the day after she went into labour, which was just sad because that was like 26 hours in labour for her, and it was really, really hard from what I'm told. He got stuck. His one shoulder didn't want to pop out or something, so they had to rush her into theatre, give her an epidural, the slice, forceps, the whole works. Bless him, he was bruised, well battered and bruised, and she was exhausted. And the photo I'm going to show you now is the one from the hospital, and you will see the bruises that I'm on about. Here's his photo. Isn't he cute? And like you can see, his poor little black eye. It was quite, don't do that. It was quite an ordeal for him. I mean, the white of his eye, when he opens his eye, you can actually see he's got like a bloodshot line around his eye. Bless him. But this is the best picture ever. And you'll see his black eye's looking a lot better now. Look. And you can just see it on his eyelid there. And that's the cardigan I made for him. They love it. How amazing. That was me holding him as well there, by the way. We did a kind of socially distant hi. I popped round to theirs on Tuesday. I think it was Tuesday, wasn't it? Tuesday, and I sat in the conservatory with the doors and the windows open. Yes, it was cold, but he was well dressed, as you could see, and he had a blanket as well to start with. And Reese and his girlfriend were in the house. He came to the doorway to have a conversation with us, so it's not so bad. But bless him, he christened me on the very first time I met him. Reese said he's due a bottle feed, I will warn you, and he's probably due a bum change too. And he asked me if I wanted to. Of course. So he gave me the changing mat. I don't need a changing mat. He says, but I use a changing mat. No, I don't. I've always, from my second child to my fourth, done them on my knees. It's just I found that easier. I can't be doing with changing mats and all that business. It's getting everything out and it's unnecessary. Yeah. So I had him on my lap changing his poor little bum. He had got a dirty nappy, so I just lifted him to give him a wipe over and clean him up. And right at that second, he tensed and pushed ever such a little bit. And it was just... Have you ever seen a baby when they do their projectile vomit? I have never ever seen a baby do this before, but it was like projectile poop. Straight out, and I'm not kidding, it went all over my arm, the settee that I was sat on in the conservatory, the carpet to the doorway. Poor Reese. He didn't know what to do first, bless him. He stood in the doorway going, I don't know what to do first. Just wipes would be it was all over my jacket. And it even went up my sleeve. I have no idea how it went up my sleeve. But it was so funny. Bless him. I can't be mad at him. But he rang me, he video called me later on that evening, I do believe. And he was in tears with laughter, that is. And he showed me the floor. The floor was soaking wet. And I just, what happened? He said he did it again. This time, it was to Reese, but he managed to kind of dodge, and it shot straight past him. But oh my days. First meeting, and I'm christened already. But he is adorable. He is absolutely gorgeous. I know I'm biased, but I don't care. He is gorgeous, and I can't wait to see him again. But we're in lockdown now. You're not supposed to meet anybody outside your household apart from one person, so who knows when the next meeting will be. Anyway, thank you to everyone who left their congratulations and their warmest wishes. I have passed them on. And I'm just in love. And it's nice to be able to kind of give back when baby wants to cry. I haven't got to do that no more. But anyway, my other three are like, well, Tyler's not so bad. But Ellie and Riley are like, I'm too young to be an auntie or an uncle. Well, it is what it is. Anyway, like I said, thanks for the warmest wishes and the congratulations. Most appreciated. But you're here for the stitching and whatever else I've been up to, which sadly this week isn't a great deal. All the video calls. How can I not have a video call with my grandson? Anyway, this week, not been very productive. I have got some things done, just not a massive amount like I did last week. I have completed 2 challenges from Enchanted Stitching and 1 from Magical Stitching. We'll just go with, what did I use this one for, or didn't I? I don't think I did. Where's me? I always forget my bag. The first thing I worked on this week anyway was my, this is so creased now, Tilton Crafts Avengers. And still all this black. I got 905 more black put in. It just keeps going. All these are black. It just seems never ending. But then I know I've got it again when I come back up. Oh, it's all clipped up to this top corner here. I've got a load more there to do as well. And then in the other corners too, because it all starts black and comes in. But that's another 905 out the way. Yeah. 18 count Ada, by the way, and I drew these grid lines on myself with my, forget what the pen's called. It's a fabric pen anyway. Friction, because that's how you get it off. So that's that one. Just drop that on the floor for now, and that, and I'll put those away after. Next, the Halloween one, I think. Now I'm not entirely sure how many I've done. I think it's 6 or 7. So I was trying to go back over my last week's video of where I was. And here we are today. And last week, let me fold it in half so I can show you a little bit better. I said I put one in the wrong place. As it turned out, no, I was just being dim. Where is it? No, folded it too far. We'll get there. There we go. Right. There we go. This one, I said it was toilet roll. It's not. That's the toilet roll. It's the same. It's kind of grey and white, so it got me confused. But then I spotted this later on, and I was like, that's not toilet roll. That's a candle. So, oh, that's better. You can see that now. So yeah, it was the candle. This I thought was the toilet roll, which was supposed to be here, but it's not. So everything is correct. But I think I got to there and there last week, I think. Who knows? But I know I've done this one since, and I don't know about this one and this one, but I did that one. That's from It. Oh wow, if I get a bit closer, the light's gone off it. It's actually quite a nice day today. Sun's in and out. It's not raining. It's cool, but it's not raining. We're only like 21 degrees, I think, inside the house. So I've still got another 3 to do to complete it, which it's gone Halloween, so I've kind of not been pushing myself to finish it. Just, it'll get done before the end of the year. And I decided my background was quite, when it's just this, it's quite boring. And unless I turn my camera right up there, you won't see the cross stitch that's hanging up there. So I thought the cushion I made from the cross stitch my mum bought me when I turned 21 would be nice. And it'll break up the background as well, so it's not so boring. Anyway, the last thing cross stitch wise, why does it always fall when I do that? The last thing I worked on was my Once Upon a Fairy Tale. So I tried to make this the focus. I try to fit it to as many challenges as I can. Doesn't always work, but I try. So this is actually done 3. The first one was stitch on a piece that, sorry, I'm looking at my notes. Stitch on a piece that shows water. Well, at the very bottom, I haven't got my sheet. Ellie, do me a favour. In the front of the basket right there is the cover sheet for this. In the front, in front of your bags. That side of the basket. In a Polly Pocket is the cover sheet for this. Not that one, the other one.
There is no Polly Pocket there. This one is.
Oh, it's probably there then. I'm normally almost always ready. You've got 2 there. It's alright, don't worry. Anyway, one that shows water. Try and get the light off it. There's a boat and a bit of water down here. So I used that. And then for the other one, it said, stitch on a piece that you would run into danger to save. Well, that would have to be this one, considering I did the first page. Oh, I was halfway through the first page and I made that mistake. I cut the fabric when I was trying to cut the stitches off. So I restarted it all over again. So I would go through hell or high water to save this one after all that malarkey at the beginning. And then I only used it as a penalty stitches, which is 300 stitches, because it says stitch on a whip with an animal in the canine family, and I don't possess one, so I just stuck a few more stitches in this one. So although I only needed 2, 5, 6, 7, 800, I actually did 1,237, and the bit I worked on was all this blue, and this just keeps going across and across and across. So I figured a bit of plain stitching for now. Yeah, you can see. And I'm going to carry on with that later. I've actually enjoyed having it out for a change. It's been a while since I actually felt like I really, really want to stitch on it. So while I've got that kind of mentality going that I want to stitch on it, I'm going to take every opportunity I can to stitch on it. That's it for me stitching. She has done absolutely none this week. She's 10 stitches. Seriously, again? Okay. 10 stitches then. She sits and then it's like she finds other things to do, or Riley will come and talk to her and say, do you want to come and play this or whatever? And Among Us has a lot to do with that. So there's no more stitching to show you. The only other thing I've worked on at all this week, and this will come as a shock to you because I haven't touched this in weeks. And the only reason I have now is because I ordered some wool and it finally arrived, which is this blue that I've been waiting for, because not everywhere's had it in stock. What with COVID and everything else, stocks have been running short. So I'll tell you what I will do first. This is the image I'm actually working on at the moment. This was all done by me, hand drawn and then put into Stitch Fiddle. He is the Enforcer, I think he's called, on Fortnite. So I am just working up here. I'm about here now. And now the wool's arrived, I can start bombing it out again now. So that's where I am. I have no pegs attached. I cut them all off. They're so easy to reattach, so it's just easier than... You can see the shading coming in. Well, I've just finished the shading. It's moving on up to the next piece now, so I can see through the fabric. It's all looking good. And I tell you what, I enjoyed working on it last night. I was on it for ages. I'm going to have to sort that out. I've got a little pull in my fabric right there. I would say it's the cat's, but it possibly isn't, because I've got it sat right on top of my area, which they can't reach, which is a good job, because I've seen what Kelly's cats do to her blankets, and they're a nightmare. She has to cut all her pegs off in the end, and then They've pulled on the fabric and everything. Anyway, so that's going to get some more work later on. I tend to cross stitch in the daytime because the light's a little bit better. And then I tend to do my blanket in the evening because I don't need brilliant light to work on my blankets. So cross stitch daytime, that's what I'll be doing this afternoon. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more challenges to complete before Sunday midnight. But 3 of those, no, 2 are penalty stitches, so it doesn't matter what I stitch on. So Once Upon a Fairy Tale is going to get another 600 at least. And then Felicia's, because I've got to work on something that is submerged. I have a mermaid. They live under the sea. So I'm going to use Felicia for that one. Oh no, I've got 900 penalty stitches to do. I've got 3 that are on penalty stitches, so that is going to get a whole load more work this following week. And then Felicia, she's going to do for 2 actually, because it says stitch on a piece you can tie to one of the brothers, because the 2 brothers in Ratatouille, one is like the tidy rat and doesn't like eating garbage or anything like that, and then you've got the other brother who will eat anything he can get his hands on, like garbage. So I've tied it in the sense that garbage is like dirty, disgusting, which would kind of be bad colours, I suppose. And Felicia is bright, clean looking. That's my that's my way of explaining it. So she's going to get worked on twice this week as well. This weekend. It's got to be done before Sunday midnight. So the blanket this week is going to be pulled out a lot more as well. So excited. I'm hoping to have that blanket done before Christmas. Fingers crossed. Because it has been on my area for a while now. And I've got another one planned for me. But they'll be in little blocks. I can do them so easily. You'll get to see them as I start them and do them. Anyway, guys, that's it from me, us. I'll see if I can get to do some stitching this week. She's ignoring me. Anyway, have a fabulous weekend, guys, from all of us. Stay safe. Do whatever you need to do, because things are just going from bad to worse. So get your mask on, wash your hands, stay safe. Have a fabulous weekend. I know I'm going to. And I will see you next week. Bye, guys.